Okay, new webcam. Sorry, just making sure everything's set up. So I'm using this sign for request. It kind of looks like please, 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 right? Um, but the idea is, comes kind of from that, right? You're asking for something, as opposed to we've used this or this for a question, right? Asking for something, but you wouldn't like ask for help because this is to question someone or to ask a question as opposed to make a request, right? So there are many reasons why. This may jump around a second. Hold on a sec. There we go. Okay. So some various um, reasons why we would make requests and how we would sign that. So um, in class, in discussions, I will go through a bunch of this kind of thing where asking people, I try to do this, work it in conversation where asking, so what did you do over the weekend? Oh, did you do that by yourself? Did you have someone help? What did you do? What was that conversation like? So this example sentence. So using this sign for not mind, it can be both a question, oh, do you mind helping me with that? Or it can be, oh, I don't mind. No skin off my nose. This would be a good analogy from English. Um, so busy, busy, busy. So me, busy, 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 work. And then DCL, a descriptive classifier where here's my pile of work, right? Uh, do you mind? Paper, copy, 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 copy. Um, and as I say in class a lot, like there's no one correct answer. This isn't the only way we would sign it. There are many options. Um, like I would probably suggest something at the beginning. Hey, do you mind prefacing with a little ask? Do you mind helping me? And then explain the situation. Um, it just seems a little bit more polite than being direct and saying, "Hey, can you do this?" Because at least if you prep someone to know you're going to be asking for help, they're a little bit more inclined to help you out than if you're just like, "Dude, I need help. Go make copies." Right? Whatever. So, not mine. Using it for making a request. Just one example. Like I would probably say, also, my work. Um, and the hey. I want you to get used to incorporating that. Right at the beginning of a sentence, hey, to get their attention, because so often we as hearing people, we're not used to engaging like that. But just to get used to a polite way of 100 copies. Okay. So these are role-playing situations we can do in class using the same question, and trying to encourage you to come up with responses to it. Ideally, you're helpful, but there are times where you also can't just take on other people's tasks, right? Self-preservation is healthcare. So now, second one. 1 week past, right? So we know week, one week, and then we're going to move it to the past, right? You can do 1 week past. It's 3 signs as opposed to 1 sign. Last week, week past. Now, we could do car, or we could do car. Either one works. Most of the time, people think this is a lot less work until you master the finger spelling of CAR and then realize this is one hand doing very little work, and this is both hands. And I'm engaging my core, and I don't need that kind of exercise. Well, I probably do. Just don't want it. Right? So, car or car. And yeah, car, we assume it's yours. You could also say broke down. Now, we've seen this for break in the past, right? To break something. Incorrectly cited spring break, right? Even though we say spring break, but technically it should be either break or break, right? My car, a little bit more specific, broke down. This is the sign for if a system breaks down, as opposed to one piece breaks. Like my car broke down. I don't know what the problem is. I just know it's broken. It's not running. So breakdown. I poured money into it. So you're taking your money and you are like funneling it all into it. And there's lots of other ways that you can sign that this seems to imply like an ongoing process, like it's not done because it's not fixed. You could like, I took a whole pile of money and pushed it towards that problem, right? This would be, repetitive, constantly putting money into something. So in this case, funneling money into it, right? Now I'm broke. Do you mind skiing? And it's an assumption that it's like us going skiing. Postpone. Now, if you imagine that this is on the timeline, here, I'm picking little pieces on that timeline, right? So postpone. I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it into the future. You can actually prepone, which is not a word we use, but you could pull it back. Like if you're like, hey, I end up with a day off today. Do you mind? Could we do it today as opposed to tomorrow? So you can move it in the timeline, forward, backward. Do you mind postponing it? So do you mind skiing? Skiing, here are the skis, right? Skiing, postpone future 1 month, or you could also just go, and what I'm doing is I'm actually moving the sign for month into the future. So it replaces this sign. So future month to one month in the future. I say not my glasses. And because I've done postpone, we already know it's in the future. If I just do 1 month, we get it, right? So that's a sign for postpone or prepone. I should probably reverse these slides, right? So you see the description first and then see the sentence. That would make sense. Why don't I do that? Okay, let's see if that helps. So, next situation, 2B. I don't know why we don't, because it's postponing, I guess. Could have been 3. Right. Okay. So changing it to Wednesday or Thursday. So let's take a look at one of the suggested sentences. Just now, we know the sign for past, right? And I'm guessing everybody's seen the tiny past. So past, 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 right? Past, past. Just now, parents. And in case you haven't seen this, we oftentimes use this within the deaf community for call because this is not right, right? For most deaf people, they're not using the receiver like that. So call. Originally, it was like TTY to TTY, which was a phone keyboard, and now it's like video phone or texting. You know, although we use text, but we still use this for reach out, make contact. So, tell me now. Could you tell? I tend to do inform to let me know. So we know inform, we know to learn. This is all about manipulating this information that I just grabbed. So now they could inform everybody. In this case, they informed me. So they spit in my face, right? Informed me or tell me. Tell me works. Um, Day two, flying here. I like to set up pronouns when I mention them. So if my parent, them, call me, they're flying here. Fly here and stay 2 weeks. Or all 2 weeks. All 2 weeks. 2 weeks is enough. Now, the next Friday, us two. So now, if I set this up here, you, me, I'm talking to the camera, so I should set up you and me, right? You and me, future Friday. And that would mean technically the very next Friday, as opposed to next week Friday. So if you do next week Friday, and today's like Wednesday, as it is right now, I would not say next week Friday, clearly. I would say this Friday, or even just 2 days, like just ahead. Key Friday. Now, I would also set up parents in one place, person you're talking to directly across from you, and then restaurant where you're going to go to eat in the third place. Boom, boom, boom. Do you mind? Right? So prepone. Pull it back. So I hope that makes sense. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So now we're taking a look at using space a little bit more clearly. And in this case, we're talking about there's you, which is usually right across from. And we'll usually set the third person either left or right. If I'm right-handed, I will tend to place an extra person over here. Technically, you could do it to either side. If you've got more than one, we'll tend to place the first one to the left, second one to the right. Whichever's the last one we're going to deal with tends to be to the right. If you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, it'll switch. So I'm talking about 3 different things. I may go first one, second one, third one. So first to my passive hand, my non-dominant hand. Second one straight ahead. Third one to my right, which is where my dominant hand is, because that's where the verbiage is going to happen with my hands, right? I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do actions over here first. We tend to set up so that the one we deal with first is going to be right here. It'd be really hard if you set stuff up and then went over here to deal with something. Just as a longer way to go than being right here. If you're manipulating your space, it really doesn't matter. It's just slightly easier. So I just want to put that in your head to start thinking about what feels good. If you're left-handed, you would start here, then here, then here. If that makes sense. Um, so know that, or no, no, no. I'm signing it below my glasses, below my eye. Um, Technically, it would be up here. Some people have different sensitivities, and some people don't like to cover up an eye. And I think that's the real reason why a lot of people sign no down here or think down here, because it doesn't block the eye or risk anything. Deaf people, as a whole, tend to be pretty sensitive about eyes. Like, and you can imagine, like, if you're deaf and you lose some of your eyesight, that can be a really horrible thing, very isolating. So there's a lot more care about one's eyes. As an ASL teacher, I'm very careful about my fingers because I lose these, I lost my job, right? So just something to be aware of culturally. So now that's a topic slash question. Why? Notice what I'm doing. My eyebrows are going up. This is a new topic that I'm introducing, and I'm not on video, but in real life, I'd be watching you to make sure you gave me a, oh yeah, I know her, or no, who? Right. Because if I get the who, then I need to fill you in on information so that I can share my gossip, right? So, do you know her? Yes. Well, last month, she index borrowed from, and this could be either loan to, borrow from, borrowed to, loan from. Makes sense, right? So it goes in the direction that whatever's being loaned goes. Borrowed from me my Thai, and this is the actual side for Thailand. So cookbook. So what we're doing is borrowed it from me, my Thai cookbook, and those things you could say borrow. You could do time last month. My Thai. It's hard to figure spell once you know the sign. Thai cookbook. I loaned her. Okay. So I mean that's one way you could do it. You could do object subject verb that way, or just do book. Book borrowed from me what? My book. Cookbook. Now, new sentence. Now, so last month, that's all done. Now, I need the book. Do you mind telling her book to give me? Makes sense? Like, so now I'm going back. So a couple different variations, but I think hopefully it all makes about the same amount of sense. So in this case, I've got me and you. I'm asking you, third person, hey, do you mind? For a second there, I thought I misread the sentence that do you mind having her give it to you to give it to me? That seemed needlessly complicated. But this is what we call an agreement verb. The object that we're talking about will follow the path. So like loan to or borrow from, give to, give back. Right? So again, same thing. And you can use this for request. It's hard to do someone requesting it from you. Right? So, do you mind give it to him? So oftentimes ask will just be in this same orientation. Tell. Now with tell, it's also sort of, there's very limited ways you can do it. If I tell you, I'm always going to start from my mouth. I'll tell you, tell him, tell my coffee cup, tell to, announce. It always starts from the signer's mouth. I'm never going to reach out and touch your mouth and have it signed to me. Right? So tell is always going to come from the signer. Same thing, request is always going to come to the signer. Ask can go in any different direction. Ask each other. Not my business. Ask. Right. Inform always is going to start from my forehead because that's where the information comes from. But if you were going to inform him, tell him. Let him know what's going on. Summon, to call someone. This hand will move in the direction that you're being summoned. Sometimes it's awkward to like twist it around. You may want to flip it. And sometimes there are better signs to use than that one. Call. You can do that, or you can do call. Call me, call you. Call me maybe. Give. Again, that can go in any direction. Exchange, right? Show can go in either direction. Show him. Show her. Shoot. Come. Go. To. And really, it depends. He's coming here. I'm going there. It really, again, it's signer's perspective. So I'm going, you're coming. This can be either verb. Cool. Oh. All right. Well, I didn't move that one. Oh. Well, that was recording. Butter. So you could ask, like you're waiting in line. They do snap figures. That's that. Oh, realized. I also tend to do this. Oh, I just got hit by a thought. Right? Butter spread. Do you mind? Whole place, right? Okay. Go get. Come back. Do you mind? Make sense? Blah blah blah. So now, the way the DVD is set up is that we start off doing other stuff. We end borrowing a truck in the book, and then the book itself, the DVD, picks up from borrowing a truck and kind of works its way back through the chapter. So if you're just looking at the book, it's really it's kind of a weird order, but I think there's something worth looking at in the video of borrowing a truck that is good at the beginning of this chapter and at the end to revisit. So Truck, Truck, truck. Right? I need your truck. Now, come on. Be keys, gimme, gimme. When? Uh, Doubtful, right? So it's worth practicing. How would you be rude? So that you don't do that again, and different responses. So in the video, the first one is going to Joe's home. He's washing his car and goes through the dialogue. I mean, the dialogue is intact on the video. You don't need me to explain it. So he asks why. He asks if he can borrow the truck. And most of the people in this video are like, no. There's a homework assignment with this, so I don't want to kind of go through all of it. But refer to the video in the book online, whichever you have. And then each way through, they will either say yes or no, or they will give an explanation of why it might not work, or ask if there's some other situation they could do. One person actually is like, you'll have to talk to my significant other because I can't make that decision. It's a term in the book called hedging. We don't really use that term hedging very much anymore, but it's being non-committal, not really giving an answer, saying, "Oh, we have to talk to someone." I'm not making that decision. We all know people like that. So I'm embedding the video in here so you can take a look at it in case whatever you can't access it right now. Find someone else. If you don't, first one doesn't work, go to the next one. Go to the next one. Reflect on past conversations you've had like this. Like, what is the conversation? How do you bring up a subject? Are you friendly? Do you kind of flirt around? Do you approach them like a velociraptor from the sides? Like, so you'll bring up another topic and wham, and then nail them when their guard is down. Clever girl. How would you respond if someone asked you something like that? If you can say yes or no, great. What if there are ways that you have to say, I'd love to, but I can't do this, or I can do this, but you'll have to wait until I do something else, right? Or, you know what, go check with this person, they're over there. So there are lots of different ways that we can respond. Best thing is think about a situation and role play it, especially if you can do it with a partner, or just practice. Like literally ask someone in class for a favor. So Anthony goes to baseball practice, blah, 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 leave taking. How do they say goodbye? Yada, yada, yada. So I broke the video actually up into each of the different chapters so that we could look at them, but you don't need me to walk you through that. Try someone else, talk to someone else. Here's the hedging, right? Where she's just kind of like, oh, so they're going to talk about blah, blah. Oh, sorry. This was the mowing the lawn, right? So here's this video where this is the one where she hedges. Oh, you'll have to check with my, because I can't answer that. So there's lawn mowing. And now, lawn. Cindy and lawn. So they just filling the time chatting about the newspaper, sports, blah, 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 right? Handy little check. 2, Lon arrives. He makes the request, says, okay, but at this time, great, perfect, hugs and kisses all around, dogs and cats living together in harmony, etc. So we're now moving past the simple yes, no answers. Now we're saying yes, but, right, yes, but I need something, or I need cash, whatever. Or yes, but I only have an hour, then I need to go, right? Or you could say, no, boss said can't let drive because wrecked other cars, right? Whatever. Or no, but ask this person. Or no answer. Maybe no. Have to ask. I don't know. So here's the entire sequence, the whole borrowing a truck video, and then vocab review. That same one we've watched, but I probably should go through and change the timestamp so it picks only the ones we need, but the vocab lists tend to overlap a lot. But really, it's that truck one. And make sure you understand all of the signs that are in there. If not, ask me in class or email me, and we can try to work that out. Figure that out. So really, 14.7 is a lot just dealing with that truck thing. Boop, boop, boop. So I can close.